playing Dragon Age Inquisition. Um, you know, I played it before, didn't quite complete it, but then I decided that I wanted to play it again. I just had the urge to play it, so here we are. And that is my character. And that's the guys I have with me. I'm still in the beginning stages of it, you know. Should have started and showed you that guys at the beginning, but I mean, if you play the game, you'll see it. Why should I ruin it for you? Not gonna be like those other guys. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. At least not right now. If something comes out ridiculously cool to where I have to at least show you a clip of something, I'll do that. But I'm not gonna, you know. I like to do really dumb stuff right now. Actually, I don't have a area that I'm going to. I was trying to avoid this stupid dragon and giant that's over there. I just ran through here, demolished all these guys in here. So, actually, I'm supposed to be going back somewhere, and I'm also supposed to be hunting goats. But now, unfortunately, there is a dragon and a giant up here as part of the cutscene that just goes on. They just randomly fight, I believe, until the dragon beats the giant, I believe. And again, I also need ram meat or whatever the heck. And there we go. It's like a little sonar right there. See, that's smashing. That's the dragon and them over there. Which means, oh no, that's meat. That's okay, cool. Oh good. I got ram meat. I need it. As you see, I only have 4 out of 10. I have to collect the ram meat. I need to help some refugees, and it's a good way to feed them. It's ram meat, so there's that nonsense. Come on, put the staff away, bro. Alright, so. Just like a lot of games, you can't fast travel and or
Nothing to report, sir.
do certain things if you are in enemy combat. Also, I know a little bit more about this game, so I'm also trying to avoid someone, if that makes sense to anybody, but I know where part of this game leads, so I'm trying to avoid somebody right now, and deciding if I have the option to not have him, I'm probably not going to, so what I'm doing right now is just BSing around trying to finish off some of the stuff I was doing. And again, if you're going to take this little bit of a journey with me, I'm not going to ruin it for you and tell you anything that happens in this game, but it's pretty crazy and pretty interesting. It's a really good storyline to it, actually. There's a lot of action in it. You know, if you can deal with the repetitiveness of the battles, the battle phases and how it works, then you'll be okay. You get a lot of extra added moves to learn and abilities to learn later on. Last time I was just a tank, so you know I went through and I was, you know, made my character strong and, you know, all this other stuff. But as you can see this time with the staff on my back, actually I'm going through as a mage. So yeah, we're doing that this time. It should be fun. There's my guys, Inquisition forces. They're pretty awesome. But this is Haven. This is pretty much our fort right now. There's my horse over there in the stables. It's also a place where you can make weapons and all this other stuff, and a forgery and all types of stuff over there. there's all types of stores and whatnot over here. Once you start going through the storyline on this, actually, it's, you know, you start learning certain things, like, you know, this spot, and, you know, who some of the people are, who these people are dressed up like this.
No, I know their purpose, but you remember I once ministered in a circle chantry. Yes, I assumed you were used to having Templars around, keeping us safe from the mages. The mages in the circle follow the chant of light as faithfully as the Templars, sister. More faithfully than some Templars, even. Some of the things those Templars did when they thought I didn't see.
See what I'm saying? And there's a lot of that. You can just randomly walk anywhere and just so happen to hear a conversation that's important. You know, these are two prominent players, you know, just NPC players in this game that you will see for quite a long time. And one's a good guy. They're both good guys. It's just, you know, shit happens. What do you do? Yeah, it's a really good storyline with many twists and turns.
When there was no sky,
The graphics.
you were the sky. When there was no earth, you were the earth. When there was nothing, you were everything.
Like I was saying, the graphics in this game are
More
pretty
healing
good,
drafts for you, revered mother.
and they're
Thank
cool.
you.
And this is Mother Giselle, and she's, you know, also a cool person. She's awesome. Like I said, you gotta play through it to learn who some people are. You have to find a lot of books and artifacts throughout this game. It's very in depth when it comes to that. Always look everywhere, pick up things, sell things that you don't need, and get money, because there's a place that you can go to that you can buy really strong and really cool weapons that you have to get to. My girl actually, when she played through it, because actually I found out this game through her, yes, I found out the game through my fiance, and she actually put me onto this game. And yeah, see, I need a rogue. It's actually a pretty decent game, so never judge a book by its cover. I know people hear that and it's so cliche, but in this case, this is one of those situations where you shouldn't. When I first looked at it, I was like, I'm probably never going to play that. And then I started playing and getting into it, and it's decent. The replay value is, it's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's like Grand Theft Auto-ish replay value, but it is kind of up there. There's always stuff you can do, you know, provided, you know, how far you go in the game, and even so, you can always come back to, you know, some of the cities. Some things are time sensitive. There's actually a good amount of missions that are time sensitive to where you have to do them, or they'll disappear. But it is there's a lot of
The
missions that
Inquisition
you can
cannot
still do.
remain oppressive if you can't prove it was founded on Justinian's orders.
This is an inopportune time, Marquis. More of the faithful flock here each day. But allow me to introduce you to the brave soul who risked his life to slow the magic of the breach. Master Adar, this is the Marquis d'Aurelion, one of Divine Justinia's greatest supporters.
And the rightful owner of Haven. House d'Aurelion lent Justina these lands for pilgrimage. This Inquisition is not a beneficiary of this arrangement.
You always have a lot of different options, and depending on how you respond to people, it can turn out good or not.
This
And
is
I'm
the
gonna
first I've heard
inquire.
of Haven having an owner outside the Chantry.
My wife, Lady Machin of Denham, has claimed to Haven by ancient treaty with the monarchs of Ferelden. We were honored to lend its use to Divine Justinia. She is She was a woman of supreme merit. I will not let an upstart order remain on her holy grounds.
People have been injured. You can't just turn them out onto the snow.
And who benefits if they stay?
Divine Justinia, Marquis. The Inquisition, not the Chantry, is sheltering the pilgrims who mourn her.
Why is the Chantry ignoring the faithful?
Because it remains in shock. We face a dark time, Your Grace. Divine Justinia would not want her passing to divide us. She would, in fact, trust us to forge new alliances to the benefit of all, no matter how strange they might seem.
I'll think on it, Lady Montillier. The Inquisition might stay in the meanwhile.
I should be walking around with
Do the Durelians actually have a claim on this place?
His Grace's position is not so strong as he presents it. Despite our Ferelden relations, the Durelions are our legion. If the Marquis wishes to claim Haven, Empress Selene must negotiate with the Ferelden on his behalf. Her current concerns are a bit larger than minor property disputes.
I'm so pleased the Marquis isn't tossing us out into the cold.
His Grace is only the first of many dignitaries we must contend with.
You expect more people in Haven?
Undoubtedly. And each visitor will spread the story of the Inquisition after they depart. An ambassador should ensure the tale is as complimentary as possible.
What sort of dealings have you had with nobility?
For some years, I was the royally appointed court ambassador from Antiva to Orlais. The nobility of Thedas is a rather singular sphere. Those I'm not acquainted with, I know through reputation.
May I ask what brought you to work for the Inquisition?
Sister Leliana approached me. We've been acquainted for quite some time. For better or worse, being the Inquisition's diplomat has become as interesting as she promised.
The Inquisition is lucky to have you as an advocate, Lady Montillier.
Thank you. Let us hope so. Thedas's politics have become agitated as of late. I hope to guide us down smoother paths. But please excuse me. I've much work to do before the day is done.
So now let me tell you where I messed up at. I like to have my other arm on, and I will show you. I like to have my other arm on when I interact with other people. One thing that people take out of video games that I find is they take the fun out of it and they try to smash through video games. The whole reason why you're playing it is because it is another world and another life just to play outside of your own. And just to do things and to have fun and relieve stress. Stretches the imagination. That's why they make them, and someone imagined and drew a lot of these things. So it's fun to do likewise when you play them. So normally when I'm in front, I don't like that one, it's too dark. But normally when I'm in front of other characters in this game, when it comes to certain things, I normally wear this armor. It's the armor that was given to me in the beginning of the game when I survived a certain ordeal. Like I said, you gotta play it to see it. If you're playing through it with me or watching through it with me here, then that's fine. Other than that, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Like I said, I'm not gonna give it away. The purpose of me playing some of these games is it's just to get people to play games and to see certain things that are going on in some of these games, and people ask me what it is and just play it. I don't care. Like I said, if you have a suggestion, please let me know. I keep telling people, if you have a suggestion for a game for me to play live, please let me know and I will do that. I will try a game out and see how I like it. I kind of like everything. I like puzzle games too. You know, I like anything that'll, you know, that's fun, and especially anything that's very imaginative. So, you know, with that being said, feel free to drop some suggestions. Hold on a second, I'm posting on Facebook. Mhm. Anyway, so yeah, Dragon Age. Anyway, just doing my Dragon Age thing, and um, shoot, like I said, you guys got any suggestions? Let me know. But that's the armor I like to wear, especially especially when I'm in here. Sorry, I'm trying to clear out all the stuff I hate when I go through stuff. Because sometimes when I get new things, I can't find it when they have all these little dots going on. So I try to, whenever I can, get rid of the little dots. There we go. And that's disappeared. That's gone. Like, you literally gotta sit on it for like 2 seconds before it disappears. I don't understand that. Do, 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 do. There we go. Anyway, this is what I normally wear when I'm here.
Good day to you.
How do you and Liliana know each other?
We moved through similar circles in Norlay. I believe we actually met in Val Royale. Leliana was quite an accomplished player of the game by then.
What exactly do you mean when you say the game?
Forgive me. The game refers to the slow duels of influence among the noble and powerful of Orlais. It's a rather light-hearted name for the matter, but Orlesians are fond of playful touches.
What do the people make of us?
Despite our fame, we're low on steadfast allies. We must aim for more.
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
Sir Griffith of Denerim, a most distinguished knight of the realm. He's defeated darkspawn, slain demons, chased down abominations. Just don't ask him about it over dinner. He spares no detail.
Oh, what do we got here? Enemies drop unique collectibles. Random to the researchers to learn more about the foes. Okay, now.
You're the Herald. Or, well, the one they're calling the Herald, anyway. It's odd to see them accepting a mage as their hero. It must be easier because you're not human. They already see you as different from those of us who lived in circles. My name is Maeve. I research demons and other creatures. Seeker Pentagast and I use what I find to help the soldiers fight them.
So now, here's the thing. What she just said, like I said, last time I played through this, I was human, I believe, and, you know, no, I'm pretty sure I was Canary. Never mind. I liked Canaries, they're big. But regardless, I still wasn't a mage, I was a warrior. So that dialect of what just happened, that whole thing, didn't happen that way. It's actually kind of interesting.
I found something the demons left behind. Can you use it?
Yes, that's very helpful. Just leave it there and the Tranquil and I will examine it.
Yeah, see, there we go.
Hello? Can I help you with something?
You said you were a mage?
No, just an apprentice. Circle mages must prove themselves in a ritual called the Harrowing. I was never very good at magic. I've got just enough talent to be a danger to other people. But when the mages rebelled, people like me had nowhere to go. The Templars would have killed us. Luckily, Seeker Pentagast took me in. Along with the Tranquil I was protected.
You said Cassandra has you researching creatures.
Yes. If you find anything interesting in your travels, I'd appreciate you bringing it to me. I may be able to find some weakness our soldiers can exploit when fighting various creatures. At the least, some materials are useful for making potions or gear for the Inquisition.
She brought up a good point. When you're playing this game and you find certain things that you don't know what they are, make certain stops either A, to people like her, or to crafting tables and stuff like that, because it may be a part to make something very important for you. When you pick up schematics for weapons and stuff like that, pay close attention to them, because you'll pick up a lot of stuff out there, and you'll try not to sell too much of your precious metals and stuff that you find out in the middle of nowhere, especially ones that you don't find that much, and even herbs and stuff like that and plants. They come in big handy, especially when you're making potions and weapons and stuff like that. So don't just throw that stuff away. If you want to become very good at this game and be powerful, it's very important that you learn how to improve and make weapons. So there's that.
You said that you were keeping some of the Tranquil safe?
Yes. The mages took some of them when my circle rebelled. The rest were forgotten. Most circle mages look down on the Tranquil, or try to pretend they don't exist. They don't have any emotions. They can barely take care of themselves. Can't defend themselves at all. It's a shame. I like them better than most people.
I'm glad they have someone who cares about them.
They deserve better. They're polite, they're rational, and they'll never get angry at you. When they study, they have a focus no normal person could ever match. But the Templars, even some of the mages, mistreated them just because they could. The Tranquil never fought back. If not for that, I don't know. Doesn't really matter now.
I'll speak with you later.
Thank you again for what you brought back.
I have no idea why, but let me tell you
If
something.
you find anything, please.
But it's actually good. But let me tell you something. This game has a whole bunch of just dialogue. Like, there's just so much. You can just be standing there and listening to someone tell a story for like 2 minutes and not even realize it, because you're just zoned off into it. I thought that was Arabic writing. It's not uncommon for game developers and makers to put crazy stuff in the game and you don't realize it. So summon my war console and my authentic ass gear. It's my war council for right now. This also changes too. Good. My stuff is ready.
My scouts are posted on the ridges in case there's any trouble.
The Black Emporium is the place I was talking about. My girl did not have it for whatever reason, but the Black Emporium is very important. if you see it and you look on your map and you see it, get it, because it's one of those things that can randomly disappear. I had it throughout my whole time when I first played. I don't understand how she didn't have it for a while, but it's one of those things that you see it, hurry up and get it, because you can get screwed out of getting it. Alright, that's we got these watchtower signs. Awesome. And then give me money. 119 gold. Alright. And I still need more clout for that. I don't want to go to Storm Coast. Address nobleman's concerns. Alright, so my girl said the person you benefit from the most is going to have the lower time. I don't know how true or not that is, but whatever. Also, you get, when you have them do stuff, you get certain tokens for certain abilities, so you have to be very mindful and careful of that too, because you want to put your attribute points towards whatever you really want to do. For me, it's kind of everything. So
To work?
alright, can I gather coins right now? I sure can.
At your service.
Alright. Always have that running so you can always get money. And I go back to the hinterlands. Venture fast. The crazy thing is I know there's a way to leave comments and messages on the thing, because I did it before, and for whatever reason in the world, I cannot figure out how to do it right now. Why? What the hell? Alright. Whoops. That's not what I was trying to do. There it is. No, no, no. Now, back to what I was doing here. It's very, very important also in this game that you finish. Please heed my warning and finish first what you are doing. I'll go to the maps here and show you. Make sure to finish an area first. Like I'm in the hinterlands, okay? Finish out the hinterlands before you go anywhere. It'll make you a lot stronger before you go through. But now also remember, there's this really weird thing for whatever reason in this game to where you can come across people that are way stronger than you, okay? Right here, there's a rift gate, and this rift gate is way too strong for you to be fighting. like when you first start out. So be wary of that, that when you're running past certain things and certain monsters, they just may kick the crap out of you. Like, you know, you always, I know what you're thinking. Oh, you always have that risk in the video game. No, I'm talking about like seriously overpowering ass foes for whatever daggone reason. Like, literally, this is the first place you come to. Why would there be enemies that strong here? Like, I don't understand. But just a random warning, it is like that in every place. Just like there's a dragon around here somewhere too. Like in every place you go to, there's a dragon. You'll randomly run into a dragon once you attain the means or become strong enough or obtain a certain power to get to a certain place. So let that be known. And they will kick your butt. Like, dragons are no joke. I think last time I played this, I probably defeated about 5 of them. And there's way more than that. There's a lot of dragons.
Good to see you, Inquisition.
What can you tell me about the wilderness around here?
Got some old ruins in the forest, from long before any king of Ferelden. The lakes are pretty, though when the weather's odd, you hear tell of spirits. Beyond that, my daughter Sienna set up a track just over there. Fool girl likes to race the horses.
You said you were once Arl Eamon's stablemaster.
Master of the mounts. Fereldans don't appreciate horses like they do in Orlais, but they knew my name in Val Royeaux. My horses took sick less and carried a man longer than any of those fancy prancers they've got. You take care of my people, and I'll make sure your Inquisition is riding right.
Farewell.
Make her be with you.
Look out for question marks, and there's going to be certain places to where you're going to have to go to where you need a thief to, like, he can learn a skill called Daft Hands Find Tools, and that's how I'll be able to open these locks. I get another little nutty person that joins my crew who actually is
If those refugees are going to defend themselves, they'll need real defenses. I've got a few ideas.
I've built watchtowers in the areas you recommended.
Nicely done. That'll give both your refugees and our farmers some warning next time trouble pays a visit. I'll speak to the master and have weapons sent to your people at the crossroads.
awesome. Yeah, as you saying, it said that somebody slightly approved down in the bottom left corner. If you run it back, you can see that. When I'm talking to him, you have to be careful of how you respond to people, because certain people will like it. Like, everyone hears about it. Doesn't matter whether they're in your party or not. Certain people will like it, and certain people will dislike it. There comes a point in the game to where you have to impose judgment on people, and certain people will like your decision, and certain people will not. And it can greatly affect on what you do in this game, because, okay, here's a spoiler alert. It's not gonna spoil the story, but you can get intimate with people in this game. You can form a relationship, form a bond with people in this game. So be careful how you talk to certain people and how people respond to you. Save the game. Save the game. Save the game as much as possible. Because
Those watchtowers will keep my farmers and your
let me tell you
refugees a lot
something,
safer.
if you make a mistake, you might want to go back.
You've held up your end of our bargain, Inquisition. You'll have my whole stable and good hands to go with it.
Nice. Cool.
You sent your stable hands and your horses to the Inquisition. What about you?
Well, you've cleaned up the area, and I can't say I'm not tempted. Still, it feels wrong to abandon my land to go play horsemaster again.
Are you Andrastian? This is a matter of faith.
The Maker would want the best to join us.
I've heard some things about you lot. Can't say I'm not interested in what it all means. All right, Inquisition. I'll look to your horses myself. Never let it be said that Redcliffe gave less than the best. Just let me settle matters here and say goodbye to my wife. I'll meet you at Haven.
Now, I know what you're thinking, and you can kiss my butt, okay? The first time I went through this, and even now, there's no way in God's good green earth that I was not going to take this man with me. As you can see, it says agent acquired. He helps my horses. My horses are faster, they're healthier, all that good jazz. There'll come a time to where I will move my fort. He will go with me. He will come with the Inquisition. He is awesome. Now, know what you're thinking. Did you just ask that dude to leave his wife? Yes. Screw you. Kiss my butt. When you play the video game, you choose it how you want to. Let me tell you, I did. You want to know why? And this is the reason why. Right here. That's the reason why. This dude helps me get really awesome horses. Speaking of which, I forgot that I have another horse, and I'm going to go get it for you guys. No, horses don't just go slow. You can run with them. And jump. And jump a wall with my horsey. Look at my fine thoroughbred. Alright, prance, horsey, prance. There you go. Ha ha ha. Anyway, yoink. Alright. So, now let's go. And there it is. I forgot about this. I forgot I had this horse. As a matter of fact, I think I can switch it a different way. I didn't even think I had to go back here. Yeah. But, yeah. High Chancellor Roderick. I can't stand that guy. Yes, the chantry is made up of mostly women. There's some men. Except for the men aren't in a higher power. I know what you're thinking. If you think, oh, you know, like the Catholic Church, blah, blah, blah. No. It's not like they're all a bunch of nuns. There's no men in power when it comes to this order. Yes.
Have you seen the horses Master Dent sent the Inquisition? They're magnificent.
Better than what you ride in Arnsberg?
Well...
You noble boys never change.
Let's talk about the horses now. Now they go horses. That's cool. What? A refined breed common in the warm climes of Antigua, suited to long distance. Interesting. Got a damn horse for free.
Feels good to be back at work, Inquisition. And lucky you have me. In lesser hands, you'd be in trouble. Haven can't support the mounts you need, but I can.
How are your charges? Well supplied?
Haven is groaning under the weight. It wasn't built for this, but we'll make it serve.
Heard anything worth noting?
Too busy to hear things, and that's how I like it.
Farewell.
Make her be with you.
I gotta remember how to do this stuff all over again. It's not... is it? No, that's not it. I know it's not in here, I don't think. No, that's not either. I didn't think so. No. What the hell? Oh, that sucks. Dang it. I can't remember how to do it. And I know I can do it because I've changed it here. Fiddlesticks. Ugh. Aha! There it is. I had to think for a second. Sorry, thinking hurts. Then I have this hat. This horse. I'm gonna show you all my horses.
Inquisition?
That's the horse that I just chose. You seen the other one had a darker mane. This has a white mane and a white tail and white hooves. Apparently it's supposed to be better at long distances. And then this is the mountain horse, Prospect Mountain Horse.
That'll do fine.
Oops. Looks like a zebra. And then there's this guy. It's kind of, you know, got his armor on there. Oops. What do we got in here? Nothing. Oh. This guy.
That'll do fine.
It's Mountain Draculas. Those are cool. Then I said that's the only one I have there. Then there's this guy, the elk.
That'll do fine.
Yes, they're all rideable. I can ride all these guys for you. Those of you who are thinking, you ride the daggone elk? Yeah, I can ride the damn elk. When my girl played it, she would ride the elk all the time. She's crazy. But yeah, that's that one. And then the exotics. This is one of my favorite, bog unicorn. There's this guy and this one I'll show you. This is one of my favorites, the bog unicorn. He's got a sword.
That'll do fine.
He's got a sword through his face. Yeah, it's crazy. He's got a sword through his face. That's the one that I normally like to ride. I'm probably going to be riding him. I forgot that I had all of them.
Inquisition?
Then there's this big guy. He makes really weird noises. Whoops. And then it's just like the bog unicorn, except for it's a lighter version of it. See? He's got the sword through his face, but it's not
Inquisition?
Alright. Whoops. Got to bring materials back on. It's gonna be upstairs, ain't it?
Now that we've got better mounts, if you like, I'll show you a few tricks to get more out of them.
You can make weapons and everything here. Bring your schematics and all the things that you find, like the metals and the cloths and stuff like that. You can bring all that here. put it into it and make all the weapons you need.
Maybe I'll show you a few tricks as well.
Horny slut. Maybe I'll show you a few tricks as well.
When there was no fire.
And here's Cassandra. See, the armor just looks way better in these cutscenes. I don't like to get too fresh with her because of what I know coming in the what's it called, but she's awesome. She's a really cool person to hang out with.
Worried?
Is it that obvious?
I'm afraid so.
Did I do the right thing? What I have set in motion here could destroy everything I have revered my whole life. One day they may write about me as a traitor, a madwoman, a fool, and they may be right.
What does your faith tell you?
I believe you are innocent. I believe more is going on here than we can see. And I believe no one else cares to do anything about it. They will stand in the fire and complain that it is hot. But is this the Maker's will? I can only guess.
You don't think I'm the Herald of Andraste?
I think you were sent to help us. I hope you were. But the Maker's help takes many forms. Sometimes it's difficult to discern who it truly benefits, or how.
You didn't have any choice.
Didn't I? My trainers always said, Cassandra, you are too brash. You must think before you act. I see what must be done, and I do it. I see no point in running around in circles like a dog chasing its tail. But I misjudged you in the beginning, did I not? I thought the answer was before me, clear as day. I cannot afford to be so careless again.
It wasn't like you had no reason to suspect me.
You see, it says
I was
Cassandra
determined
approves.
to have someone answer for what happened. Anyone. You've said you believe you're chosen. Does that mean you believe in the Maker?
I believe he exists.
You do. I'm surprised, but I suppose it's comforting. Surely the Maker put us both on this path for a reason. Now it simply remains to see where it leads us. It occurs to me I don't actually know much about you.
What do you want to know?
I'm not sure. Where are you from?
No specific place. My mercenary band worked mostly in the free marches, however.
At least until you crossed the waking sea to reach the Conclave, I suppose. Tell me, do you consider the Free Marches your home? Are you eager to go back?
Wherever I am is home enough for me.
That's how I feel now, after years of tending to business for the Divine.
I'd like to get to know you better.
You would?
Is that a problem?
Not entirely. I'm just curious as to your motivation.
Like I said, you can get fresh with them and stuff like that, but they have to kind of like you more. You got to get it up there, so.
No motivation beyond making things between us less...
Antagonistic?
Exactly.
As you wish. My name is Cassandra Pentecost, daughter of the Royal House of Navarra, 78th in line for the Navarran throne. I joined the Seekers of Truth as a young woman, and was with the Order until they withdrew from the Chantry. I remained as the Divine's right hand, carrying out her order to form the Inquisition. And here we are. That's all there is to know, my lord.
You're a member of Navarra's royal family.
The Pentagusts are a very large clan. Half of Cumberland could say the same.
Really?
No, but it feels that way. I have hundreds of relatives so distant they need charts to prove we're related at all. And they have them. Oh yes. The Pentagusts value their precious blood like it runs with gold.
And you joined the Seekers to get away from that?
It was a life worth getting away from. The Pentagusts are famed for dragon hunting, but few actually pursue the craft. Most are fat and lazy. They pay lip service to the Maker and care only for idle pleasures and pastimes.
Hey.
My brother was all that kept me in Navarra. Once he was gone...
Oh, you missed my my horse rant. That was awesome. Probably getting ready to hop back on my horse in a second anyway. I was trying to grab a couple more extra things, just showing off my horses and having a good time.
Tell me about your brother.
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time,
I
perhaps.
prefer not to speak of Anthony.
You don't seem to like your homeland much.
My family polluted it for me. What little I saw of my homeland was through the bars of a gilded cage. My uncle treated me like a porcelain doll to be placed on a shelf and dusted only when necessary. Thus I did not see Navarra, the real Navarra, until much later. By then I realized I knew it not at all.
Your uncle? What about your parents?
They had the misfortune of taking the wrong side in the second attempt to overthrow King Marcus. The king executed them, but spared my brother and I since we were family, and children at the time. Thus we were raised by my uncle, a mortalitasi who preferred the company of his corpses to the living.
Your uncle was a mortalitasi?
A death mage. He still is. My countrymen do not burn the dead, they bury them in special crypts. The mortalitasi supervise the crypts, like priests. Uncle Vestalis oversees the grand necropolis. Navarrans spend more time honoring dead relatives than they do with living ones. It is odd to be so fascinated with death and its trappings. I will never understand it.
So you were the right hand to the Divine?
To Divine Justinia, yes. And Divine Beatrix before her, in fact. The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Knights Divine, but my circumstances were unusual.
Unusual how?
You don't know the story? Thank the Maker. I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand.
But what does a right hand do exactly?
What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes, it beckons. It makes a fist. Liliana and I extended the Divine's reach beyond the Grand Cathedral. We went where she could not. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return to the Seekers. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope.
You thought she could really change things?
Justinian knew the war was coming long before it began. She tried to avert it, but the forces arrayed against her were too strong. Sometimes you have to break a bone so it can be reset. That's where the Inquisition comes in. It was to be the answer. A means to preserve as well as an agent for change. I only wish she had lived to see it.
So what's the story about you becoming the right hand?
sweet Andraste. Do you really want to hear that? It was, what, 18, 20 years ago? Some still discuss it like it happened yesterday. The tale gets bigger each time it's told. I barely recognize myself within it now.
I'm sure you're just being modest.
I was there. I think I know what happened. To hear others tell it, I alone saved Divine Beatrix from a horde of dragons sent to assault the Grand Cathedral. Rather impressive for such a young seeker, wouldn't you say?
And the truth is?
I stumbled upon a conspiracy to kill Beatrix. A Templar Knight Commander was at its heart. And there was a dragon battle at the Grand Cathedral that I had help from loyal mages who rallied to the cause. They freed the dragons from magical control. Without them, the Divine and I would both have died. Yet I became the right hand, and they are forgotten.
What happened to the mages that helped you?
They went back to their circles, with rewards and privileges and most holi's gratitude. Many of them died at the conflict.
I think you're a hero, no matter how you downplay it.
Fine. But it was 20 years ago. I will not rest upon my laurels.
I'll let you get back to work.
Do you need something?
I have some more questions.
Why am I not surprised?
Tell me about your brother.
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
I'll let you get back to work.
Do you need something?
Can you tell me more about the Seekers?
The Seekers of Truth were born from the original Inquisition long ago, when it united with the Chantry. Seekers stood above the Templars, watching over them but also investigating magical events they couldn't handle. We were meant to be incorruptible, above reproach. How seldom does reality match the ideal?
But what are Seekers, exactly?
Those who know anything of us think we are Templars. We do not use lyrium, however. Our abilities are different, as was our original purpose. We disciplined the Templars and were accountable only to the Divine. And not even her, truthfully.
So, the Seekers commanded the Templars?
No, the Order didn't assume command until after the rebellion. The Templars have always feared us. When a Seeker arrived at a circle, they knew trouble was afoot. That kind of power is troubling. You begin to think you are the only one who can solve the world's problems. If you don't see a problem, it doesn't exist. If someone insists it does, they are the blind ones.
Do you think that kind of problem could ever be fixed?
Possibly. Though the Seekers themselves would need to change. They were clearly not willing to, even though they abandoned everything they stood for to avoid it. In my heart, I believe they can still be salvaged, but not by their own hands.
You mentioned that Seekers have different abilities than Templars.
Entirely. A Templar's abilities come from lyrium and are designed to hunt mages. Ours come from ritual and many years of dedicated training. We cannot be possessed by demons and are immune to mind control. Useful considering our role. Seekers can gain other gifts, though that depends on the individual.
What kind of gifts do you have?
I can set the lyrium within a person's blood aflame. Both mages and Templars bend before my will. Some Seekers use it to interrogate, others simply to paralyze. Once there was a Seeker who could use it to kill. That particular gift is considered rare.
Why did your order turn against the Chantry?
We originally united with the Chantry through a treaty that stated they would keep mages under control. It was felt Most Holy had tacitly allowed the Circle of Magi to vote on its independence, thus breaking the treaty. The Seekers saw themselves as justified, and they led the Templars into a war of righteousness.
You sound like you disagree.
We knew what was happening at Kirkwall, where the Mage Rebellion began. We looked into reports of Knight Commander Meredith's harsh treatment of her charges years earlier. But we found so many shocking cases of magical corruption, it was decided her actions were justified. If we'd been there when it happened, if we'd looked harder at the root causes,
You seem to care a great deal about it.
too much, if you ask the rest of my order. When faced with a problem, the Seekers would close ranks and crush it. We would find an answer, but only once we felt we weren't being coerced. The moment the mages voted for independence, our response was predictable. It was difficult to watch.
How does someone become a Seeker?
Most Seekers begin training in their youth. I was much older, an exception due to my noble birth. We train rigorously for years. Our bodies and minds must be elastic to undergo the vigil, and most fail even then.
Is the vigil some kind of initiation?
It is the rite every Seeker must go through in order to summon their gifts. A full year of fasting, prayer, and separation from all distractions, including other people. We empty ourselves of all emotion, focusing only on the purity of our devotion. And the moment it finally ends, it's wonderful. Faith realized. I cannot put it into words.
I wish I could experience that.
If the vigil was not so arduous, I'd say more should attempt it. What if mages never needed to fear possession by demons? I'm told it is impossible, however. I suppose I'll never know the truth of it now.
I've no more questions.